This is Dr. H Scruggs. Welcome back to Sheroic Speaks, where Black women speak out loud and unapologetically. I want to give y'all a shout out. I want you to know I am live in Atlanta, Georgia. Yay! Wow! All right, Atlanta is in the house. I am in the house with some beautiful Black women. Sisters. I'm too excited. This is exciting for the first time. Sheroic is live in your city. We're coming your way soon, but welcome, ladies of Atlanta. Thank you for welcoming me. We're here in Atlanta, Aid Atlanta. Thank you for hosting us this evening. Ladies, if this is your first time, welcome home. If you've been here before, welcome back to the Sisters Moment. We're in for a wonderful treat. Just to let you know that tonight we've come here to have a conversation. I love welcoming people like to my living room, to my dining room, wherever. We're just so grateful that you're here with us. We want you to feel the energy. Like sisters, we're live in Atlanta. When we show this, I want them to feel that they were in the room with us. This great synergy that's here. I am Sheroic. You are Sheroic. We are Sheroic. And that is the reason why we're doing this. We are a community of Black women who are speaking out loud. We're going to hear from some great sisters tonight. I have some wonderful guests in Atlanta. I ain't fly nobody in. I tapped in to who's in the room. And we're here with Dr. Tims Cook, who's going to be with us, and Sister Freda Jones, who's going to be, I said sister, she is my sister, not biologically, by another mother who's going to be with us. But again, I want to thank all of you. I'm going to slow down. I'm excited. I'm excited to be in the ATL. We have a wonderful conversation tonight. The topic is My Peace Is Not Negotiable. Boundaries, love, and relationships. We getting ready to unfold some stuff. Y'all know it at Sheroic. I'm unapologetic. I ain't got no cut cards. We're having real conversations because it is our desire to grow and be free and unapologetic. You know, I am beautiful. I am me. We are. And that's really what Sheroic is. So I want to make sure I take a moment, thank my team who's been with me, who is setting this space up. Getting ready to breathe. Y'all ready to breathe? Yes. Y'all ready for some information? Yes. Please write down your comments. Folks can't drop this stuff in the comment box. Drop down, write down your comments, your thought. We'll have a time for all of that. But I think I'm going to take a moment. I'm getting ready to introduce this fabulous first Dr. I ain't going to mess her first name up because I'm going to have her pronounce it for me. Dr. Tims Cook, who is a board-certified internist and infectious disease physician here in Atlanta, Georgia. Every time I say Atlanta, I want to hear y'all. In Atlanta, Georgia. She is a Spelman woman. I love it. She majored in pre-med and biology at Spelman. Dr. Cook has developed an interest in women's health early on while she was studying at Columbia University and focusing on HIV and health disparities among African American women, which led her into her field of infectious disease. I love that space. Her resume, her bio goes on and on. I'm going to jump down just for a minute because I love the fact that not only she's practicing, she's here with us, but she's using Atlanta. She's committed to Atlanta. You'll see her on the news. You'll see her in newspaper. She's making her voice part of the wellness of Black women. And I imagine it's unapologetically. What I read about her, what I see already in front of me is this fabulous community voice. It runs deep, I know, in the work that you have brought to this space. So ladies, if you can welcome me, help me welcome Dr. Tims Cook to us tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Dr. Cook, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me, joining the ladies. Thank you for joining the Sheroic family.
Exactly.
You probably didn't know that when you agreed to come on Sheroic, like you're automatically in the family now.
Oh, wonderful.
Welcome.
Wonderful.
Okay, I just want to make sure you know.
Pleasure.
So if you read that like our new sister, you won't be surprised,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Good.
All of y'all too in the family now. Y'all know that, right? Okay. So wow. I got some questions for you, right? Talking about our peace. It's, as a Black woman, often, and I know I'm not just saying this, I ain't speculating it. The data tells us I'm the youngest of 4 girls. I have a mama. I'm aunts. We often don't do what we need to do for our peace. Right. And one of the goals in this conversation is really to ground us in like creating tools. Like what do we need to do? So I really want you to think for a minute. Now I want you to stop for a second because I got to get this right. Mm-hmm. Pronounce your first name for me.
Zandreatha.
Zandreatha.
But no one calls me that.
And they're not allowed to.
Right. Okay. Unless it's, in a situation where I'm being introduced and people don't know me, but people call me Zan.
Zan. So in Atlanta, they know you as Zan.
As Zan.
All right, Dr. Zan.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, so let me get back to it. Mm-hmm. So, what does it really mean for women if we say peace isn't negotiable?
Yeah, I love the phrase, and again, thank you for letting me be a part of this. It really is my pleasure. So, we can go through exercises sometimes where we know the things that are going to disturb our peace. And even when we know it, sometimes in the crevices of our minds, we negotiate there. We, tell ourselves that, I should do it, or I'm going to disappoint someone, or whatever the reasons may be. But when peace is non-negotiable,
wow,
that means that it's kept in this valued space where nothing is going to take precedence over that. And I think about it from the standpoint when we really value something, how we neatly package it, we put it up on the shelf, we make sure nothing touches it, nothing breaks it.
It's like the living room I grew up with, that room that was in the front of the house.
Exactly, with the plastic.
You better not go in there.
Exactly. Somebody paid too high of a price for that, and they valued that. And I think that is exactly where we should hold our peace, that nothing should disturb it. It is non-negotiable.
Wow, I love that. I love that. One of the things I've learned, and I agree with you, right? I've learned the value of peace, and that it feels good. Mm-hmm. It smells good.
Right.
When you come to a place where the world is doing what the world is doing, and I can just not even always sit, because you could be standing and find that moment as well. I love that. How do we get women to prioritize? Because I think most of us, I know we here at Sheroic, we talk to women always. We say like that 18, my mom's 89. She tunes in when we set her up, right? But I find across the lifespan, a lot of women struggle with finding that spot.
Right.
How do we help them find that spot?
Yeah, I like to think that it's getting comfortable with the word no and saying no. And I think somewhere we grow up associating no with something that's bad. But no is required in a lot of cases to maintain the good. And so getting to a place where, you don't have to say no in a mean way. I think about Southern ladies where I grew up, they had a very sweet way of saying everything, even if it was no.
Yes.
And being okay with that, knowing that people may have whatever emotion about it. They may be disappointed, they may be angry, but that's not yours to carry. So your no is your no.
Your no is your no. Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
All right, they said yes, but I'm going to shift for a moment, all right? Because we talked about boundaries and we talked about relationships, right? So when I think about how do and when do we know relationships are draining our peace?
Wow. So many ways. I think a relationship should, and I think this is a place to get to, a relationship should enhance you to a point that it brings you to your best self.
Yes.
And anything that's not doing that, already something is not in the best interest of you. So I think starting there. But when something just disturbs your emotions, it puts you in that place all the time. Something triggers you all the time. I think those are all signs. And just simply when you're not getting what you expected and hoped of that relationship, it's just not for you. And it's lots of people on the planet, lots of other options. And, I think it becomes sometimes time to explore those.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to stretch us with the word relationships is a big word, right? Just in I'm thinking, I want to break down relationship a little bit because I think sometimes we're drawn, it takes out when we think about our families, like whether it's your biological family, intimate family, or your chosen intimate family. Sometimes we find those boundaries. And my family hate when I say this. I'm gonna say it though, right? Because it's true. We're talking truth, right? I love my mother. I didn't always like my mama. I love my mother.
Right.
I didn't always, and I'm sure my son's here. He probably say the same thing, right? But I remember at a time where I had to stop.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of her, it was to save my own life.
Right.
And often you talked about no. Sometimes we find it hard to put the oxygen mask on us in relationships.
Right.
So how talk to that a little bit? Because I'm going to ask you in a minute, connecting this to health.
Exactly. Yeah, because what you say there, your relationship with your mom in certain circles is this very sacred place where there's just certain things you may think, but you dare not say out loud. And so the fact that,
I heard them when I said my mom. They were like,
yeah, it's like really. Right, but we all know that that's the truth of things sometimes. And I think we often have this little voice of expectation that makes us not want to go there because of what people are going to think. And that, again, is a place where you're negotiating your peace in exchange for something else. So those are places where you have to put on your big girl panties, big girl panties, exactly. Big girl panties, and do the thing that is right for you and let people think what they're going to think. I often have believed that people will find out what they need to find out when they need to find it out. So that person you are in a relationship. Let's say it's your mom. You know your mom. You've been living with your mom since the day you were born. Other people may not know what you know. And so how can they come to the conclusion that you've come to if they haven't walked in your shoes?
I love that because actually it was my health. Things was happening with my health made me take a look at relationships. And this is a true story with my mom. And I went to her and said, I'm not coming around for a moment. Because stress, anxiety, is eating me up when I come into this space with family and places. It was toxic. And I was doing some health stuff. So I want to ask you, and it was interesting. She was interesting. I went as far as if we talking and I hang up the phone, it ain't about what you said. It's about my response to it. And so I gave her warning spaces about what was happening. I was in mental health therapy. I'm not apologetic that I see therapists at time to time because I'm really trying to live well. I'm trying to live and remove the toxicities that go with, that's another story. So let me talk about, because I do want to ask you as an infectious disease physician, because I'm talking about stress. I'm talking about the things that women deal with, particularly Black women. how do that interact with our health? Like, how is unhealthy relationships, whether it's personal, whether it's intimate, whether it's family, how does that impact with our physical and not just our peace, just being?
Right. I think on so many levels. I think first and foremost, it's how we prioritize the needs of other people and sometimes not even do the things that we know should be done for the benefit of our health. So we don't go to the appointments, we don't get the screenings, and then the consequences that happen as a result of that. When you think about the relationship and boundaries just in your physical space, being in situations that are emotionally detrimental, sometimes, physically detrimental to a point that is fatal. I mean, we've heard on the news recently, it's almost every other day where someone is, has been murdered by someone who is in close proximity with them, a spouse, a son. Prioritizing even the physical space and protecting our spaces there. But then the stress of it all can eat away.
Yes.
Sometimes it's how we deal with the stresses. We may drink to excess. We may eat to excess. We may do a lot of things that just don't honor the goals and the benefits of our health.
Wow. This is incredible. I know we're going to talk some more in a few minutes. One thing I want to think about, I think one of the hardest things is for women to realize it's up to them to protect their peace. I think many of us live and we think about happiness and I want to be happy. What I've learned is my peace is more important than my happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that my peace creates this whole aura for so much, and happy is included in that.
Right.
I love that. I'm going to thank you for being with us. I know I'm going to have you back in a couple of minutes. I have so much more to say to you. We're going to take a quick break, come back with a Sheroic moment, and we're going to come back with one of my sisters, Freda Jones, is going to join us in this conversation in just a couple of minutes. See you. We're going to have a Sheroic moment. We'll be right back, ladies.
A couple of years ago where it was like a big trend on TikTok where they used to say, I'm a such and such. Of course I such and such. It was like a trend. So everybody was doing different things. I'm a mom. Of course I. So my children, my teenage girls, they said, my mom's an HIV advocate. Of course she listed different things. So they said, of course we just have random condoms around the house. Yes. Of course we talk about uncomfortable topics in front of my friends. So yes, I am that mom.
What is that? What does that look like?
You don't want anybody to die that you love. And so my tact is you got to do what you got to do this, you got to get up, you got to exercise, you can't give up. And she's not really giving up, it's just her body can't move. And I had to learn how to accept that.
Wow, thank you. I know that was a wonderful Sheroic moment. Thank you for being back with us. I am with one of my sister friends, Queen, wonderful. Yes. I introduced her earlier, Freda Jones. Freda is a local Atlanta. Come on, Atlanta. Freda is a national advocate for women in HIV awareness, prevention, health, the whole her. She served as a facilitator, I'm going to say counselor out. She's an all-around woman around ensuring that you take care of you, black girl. But Freda has also showed us that she's taking care of her black girl. I love it. Like the doctor, she is award-winning. You'll see her all over Atlanta, all over nationally. We hear about the great work you're doing. I know that there was recently a movie. Yes. You call it a movie?
Yes.
We're going to call it a movie. You don't call it a movie. I know it's a documentary.
We're going to call it a movie.
That's going to be phase 2. mean, we'll talk about that, but I really want to talk to you. As we said, we're here in Atlanta, like this unnegotiable space.
Oh yeah.
I want Black women, and I push the envelope sometime, right? And I'm gonna push it with you, Freda.
Okay.
Around, I love it because I won't go there. Why do women often struggle and have guilt with setting boundaries? Because, boundaries are important. One of the first things I learned as a professional, one of the first courses I took was like professional boundaries in public health and healthcare. Like, and that's in your whole world, in your whole life. Why are we having guilt? And we often like struggle with that.
First, we're going to need to work on it, especially setting some boundaries, because once menopause kick in, you start having brain fog and you need your notes. So that's why I brought my notes with me, because you get that menopause and that brain fog. So you better start setting boundaries when you're going through menopause.
So when you're in your 20s and 30s, you're good.
Maybe.
Okay.
It depends.
Okay.
Some Black women go through menopause a little bit earlier.
Okay.
So, yeah. So if you're going through menopause, take your notes. Yeah. So about the boundaries, what I have seen is that we don't know how to set boundaries, because we was always taught that you are the strong one. Even though they say in the Black men, oh, don't cry. But everybody, Black women have always been the backbone of the community. They can hold it together. So we wasn't taught that. We wasn't taught the boundaries, because we couldn't tell our mom, I don't want to cook that. Some of my moms had to go to work. Some of my moms maybe wanted to go out. It all depends. But we couldn't tell mom, no, we couldn't do that. We didn't set boundaries. No, mom, I don't like this. Or we couldn't. Back then, some of us didn't voice our opinion. No, don't touch me. Let me go into there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We didn't know how to set that boundary as being a child and saying, no, don't touch me. You're not supposed to do that.
Let me stop you right there. So what I hear you saying is there's some of that early childhood experiences that took away the authority that we had a boundary to set, because we didn't see other people set boundaries around us.
Because it wasn't taught to us.
Oh.
It wasn't taught to us. Okay. So we didn't know how to set those, because it wasn't taught to them either. So this can be that generational thing that could be going on. Yes, that generational problem that we keep
That's why I don't like
into.
Millennials. I'm just saying, I know it's something wrong.
Baby.
I'm a Gen Z.
We can high-five each other on that one, right?
I'm just saying, because they broke that mold around, I ain't saying nothing, I ain't doing nothing. Mm-hmm. But there still is that space of we don't know how.
We don't know how to set those boundaries.
So, and I love this. So we're struggling with not having tools to set boundaries. So I would say, as much as I say I don't like millennials. So what is, and this is another thought around that is, so as I'm aged, we're a little older now, we're seasoned.
Oh, yes, we seasoned.
Spicy. Right?
Sexy.
I like sexy and spicy.
Sexy and spicy. Okay.
I like spice. What are the tools? Because that's something I never thought about, that we wasn't taught boundaries.
Yeah.
What can we do to ensure that we start teaching Black women those boundaries? What are some of the little stuff?
Yeah, we have to bring them in the circle and grab our sister's hand and say, come, go with me. Come and listen to what we are talking about. Like I share with people that it's not always about my health status, because I know it was so much life after. I gained life 23 years ago.
Okay.
So my life, I am not talking about my health status on a regular basis.
Right.
Because I had to learn that it was life after that. Oh, wow. I can do this. I can buy me a car. I can buy me a house, but I ain't learned that until I was 49 years old. I didn't learn that. I can do things, but we have to start grabbing these other Black women hand and say, sis, you can do this as well. Come, let me show you.
So it's going back to that old thing, reach one, teach one.
Reach one, teach one.
That's not old fashioned.
Yes. I can share that even when I learned how to do credit, I taught my sisters. Of course, we had some wine in the room, but I taught them like, hey, what's your credit score? Let's pull this up. Let's get this. And even bringing the cousins in. And now they appreciate what I taught them because someone taught it to me. Not saying it wasn't it wasn't a generation thing because it wasn't taught to our parents and our aunts and stuff. But we got to reach these girls and say, hey, come on, let me help you. Let me show you how to do this.
I love it. So you're really talking about intergenerational engagement, learning, and teaching. Mm-hmm. Let me shape that a little bit. Talk up to me about, you've worked with a lot of Black women. You work with a lot of sisters.
Yeah.
What do we talk to them about carrying love? I just
caring.
Flipped it. Like carrying love. Like, what does that mean when we're talking about our peace and not being negotiable in managing relationships?
Yeah.
And that whether that's their love or their love for someone else, what might we say to them?
It always have been love for someone else. Because some of us don't know how to love ourselves. If I say, do you love yourself? Yeah, I love yourself. Yeah, I love me. I said, really? I said, tell me, what have you done for yourself? Well, I took him to the store. No, what did you do for you? I bought a car so I can take him to the store. No, sis, what did you do for you?
And
it always go to what they did for someone else.
Exactly.
So we are not loving ourselves. We can sit down. We're not sitting down and taking time to learn to love ourselves. Right. It's okay. If you can't afford to get your nails done, go get your buffer.
That's right.
And love them. Love on yourself. Give yourself a pedicure.
I love it.
Everybody don't have that financial luxury, but work with what you have.
I love telling ladies. I do my own nails now. Because I was like, for $100, the $125 I was paying, I could buy the whole kit. So I love it. And I enjoy it. I'm taking nothing from nobody but I enjoy, like, that's another way of pampering me.
Yes.
And that came, I'm gonna tell you, because I tell you before, I'm telling on myself. So one of my activities in therapy years ago, the therapist, Dr. J, told me to say, like, a homework assignment for my therapy was go write your love story to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, go tell yourself, what about you do you love? Why do you love it? And what about you do you need to change? Why you need to change it? I'll never forget that. And she was like, nobody else could be in the story but Linda. And I remember it took a minute to finish that story, right? Cause like, why do I love me? Like, she was like, look in the mirror, do all the things, turn to the side and, all those things you do. And then write yourself a story. Why do you love Linda?
Why do you love everything about you?
Yeah.
What is it about you? Back in the days when you was younger, if you wore your hair like mine or Linda, oh, she bald headed, oh, she got nappy hair.
Yes.
You get teased and Joan about that. But you cannot tell me don't rock my afro in a baby.
Very bad.
And I love it when it's nappy. I love it when it's nappier. So that's a part of me loving me, being myself.
Yeah.
Whether I cut it off or dye it platinum blonde or put the wig on, either way it goes, I'm loving me. And I had to learn that.
That's that unapologetic me. I'm definitely is a ball queen, y'all. People like, what's wrong with you? You got alopecia? They give me all. I'm like, no. I just got tired of it. I don't have alopecia.
Yeah.
I got tired of the battle. I was a cosmetologist at one time, right? Just like, So I'm a move. So no, Dr. Tims Cook is going to come back with us, Freda. We're going to keep talking. I know you ladies have some questions. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to do another quick Sheroic moment. We're going to bring Dr. Cook back with us. We're going to bring y'all in the room with us. And those of y'all that are watching, thank you for hanging with us. We here in Atlanta. We're in the ATL having a Sheroic Speaks live. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Ladies, we are back in the ATL. I love it. I love it. We have a lot of love going on in the ATL. I am back with Dr. Zane. I am back with Freda. We are back with all of you. Has been a wonderful Sheroic Speaks. I got a couple more things I want to talk to you ladies together about. Talking about relationships, this whole conversation around my peace is not negotiable, right? And we talked with you earlier, Dr. Zan, whether it's a personal, family, or intimate relationships, and further we started going in there. I would love to talk about, why is it hard? Like thinking about whether you personally or the women, what is the struggle? And I'm going to say with black women, and I can't say all because I don't know all black women, but what I do see, I know, and even from some of my own experience of black women finding it hard to just really owning their peace and their self.
I can say that it's a struggle, because we have so much we have to face. We have to face the kids. We have to face the partner, whether they are our husband or, be honest, they our sexual partner. We don't prioritize our peace. I need a peace of mind. We don't know how to give ourselves a break. We think we always have to be on the run and take care of everything. Oh, I'm gonna take care of this. I'm gonna take care of that. I'm gonna take care of that. We try to take care of everything because that's how we are conditioned.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think sometimes just choosing which battles are worth the effort.
Wow.
People across the globe are just dealing with things. And I don't think there's a person on earth, regardless of your means, your wealth, or whatever, who doesn't have some type of struggle. And sometimes things just are not about you. It's not even worth just having your peace disturbed over. And so I think getting to a place where there are some things that you come out, guns, pulled, you're swinging, is worth the fight. And then there are those that it's just your peace today is your prize and joy.
I love that. I love both of those. I'm going to ask you something personal. I always tell ladies to come to Sheroic. You ain't got to answer it, but I got to ask it, right? Tell me, is there a boundary that you can remember that you had that changed your life? Did you ever had to create a boundary that changed your life or your way of thinking? That's both of them. You ain't got to answer it, but I got to ask it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned that the only way I can survive is I have to set boundaries. I mean, down to the nth degree. There are times of day I just do not answer the phone.
Oh, I love it.
I don't feel like talking. It's no other reason than that. I do not feel like talking right now.
And you're not required to.
Exactly. Everybody tends to expect me to pay for things. And no, we're not. We're not. Especially if your only time that you call me is to ask a question. And these are close family members. I'm sure that they do need things. But I was not put on this earth to provide your every need for you. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you won't need to call me. But it's being okay that you're going to make somebody angry, you're going to disappoint someone, but okay, that's where we'll be today.
I love that. I love that. I'm okay with you not being okay with your own situation. That's what I heard you say. Exactly. The boundary is I'm okay with you not being okay because this is your situation. Exactly. I love that. Oh, Freda, come on.
Oh, I set so many personal boundaries now. Do not call me after 10 o'clock because I'm asleep, number one. Menopause and kicked in. I have to set that boundary. But when it comes down to my personal, what I had to learn is that I cannot tolerate someone that gets drunk on the daily basis. I had to set that boundary because I was settling for that when I was immature. I was like, oh, He'll be fine once he wake up in the morning. But I realized it was removing my peace. It was taking peace away from me, because I'd be like, oh, there he goes over there drunk, looking all ugly. I ain't even handsome no more because he's drunk. But I like him because the sex was good though. So I had to.
It's something about that yodel.
It's something about it. Yeah. So, but I had to learn to set boundaries and gain my peace.
I love it.
And it feels so much better now.
Yeah.
Like setting boundaries. And I can say with me setting my boundaries is the reason why I'm single. But it's a good single. It's not a bad single. I feel good. I'm good. Back in the days when I didn't set boundaries, if I was single, like, oh, don't nobody want me. Now some of them I don't want. And because of the boundaries that I have set in me now, and it feels good.
I love that. I love that. Boundaries are important.
Yes.
I struggle with boundaries sometimes. I have to set boundaries for myself. Because I'm everywhere and all over the place, right? And I often have to set boundaries for myself to be still. Like, one of the things that I've done in my calendar is literally in my calendar, if you look at it, you see those kind of administrative things. But I've also put in some afternoon breathes. Yeah. Because I'm always thinking, I'm always moving. I'm not just taking care of the world, I'm just taking care of what needs to be taken care of. And I'm at this new central space where I'm like, Linda, you just got to breathe. Like how important just breathing is. So one of my new things is setting boundaries on me. Sometimes in my mind, I'm running out of time. Not like lifetime, I'm just running out of time. And I remember, I never ran track, but I used to be with the track team. And like breathing while you're running, right? And even when you're training, like take a breath. So for me, boundaries right now, I'm in this season where I'm setting new personal boundaries. And it's very connected to, you're not running out of time. Mm-hmm. Black woman, take care of yourself.
Yes.
This is great. I want to turn it for a minute. I want to hear from the audience. I'm here in Atlanta. I know we have a couple questions in the audience, so I want to hear questions, comments. I think young lady up here, come on up. Right here, let's come right here first. Shut her hand, and we'll come across the room.
So I got my questions.
Use it.
When you said something earlier about what your therapist had you write about love, I'm recently going through that because I have to learn the difference between a relationship with myself instead of a relationship.
Oh, yes.
I had to the point where I do for others instead of speaking up for myself. Miss Freda taught me how to come out of my shell a little bit because I'm a big crybaby. But I have to learn. I'm learning slowly. I'm still a work in progress with 27 years in.
Wow.
Be who I am. Be unapologetically me.
Yes.
And love me in the process. So that's what I'm learning to do. Even though she ripped it up twice when I wrote it, she told me I wasn't honest with myself, so I had to do it over.
I love that. I'll tell you, my therapist, I had to redo mine. That's what I said. It took a while, y'all. Because she's like, Linda, you lied right here.
She read my obituary, too.
Oh, Lord.
She had to say about me at my funeral. She ripped those up, too.
That's a different process.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm going through a very intense therapy with my therapist on a weekly basis, and I hate it. But I still do it because I want to free myself.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, definitely. Anytime, and I'm a component, I just love folks who are taking therapy spaces. Y'all, something happened. If you just was born, something happened. I always tell folks, I've told folks, my son's first traumatic experience was in when he was here. That was his first traumatic experience. Can you imagine 9 months in water, just wandering around, and then to have to come through a birth canal? They are born in trauma. And so many things beyond that. How many of y'all, if you had a baby, seen a baby, you're like, shh. So soon as you did that, the first time you took that piece away, you did not get in control. They were feeling something. Something was missing. Something was void. That's why babies cry. And we say shh because we're uncomfortable. So I love that you're a crybaby. Tears are healing. I wish I was a crybaby. My trauma has stopped my tears. I'm learning to cry again. So there's so many pieces of that. I know we have another comment or question on this side. Thank you.
You mentioned what do you tell them about love? One of the things that I've experienced, it's hard to teach about love when you were never taught love. And we are now being, trying to raise our children and learning love on our own. So what would you all recommend? Because now you have people running around and they're saying, I love you, but what is love? What is real love? Not, I'm gonna buy you something or I'm gonna do something for you, but what is real love? And again, we were raised because the mother didn't know love. The mother's mother didn't know love. So now you're raising another generation and you got to try to teach them what real love is.
I love that comment, ladies. I'm going to turn to y'all first. Like, how do we teach Black women what is love?
For me, that would be I'm learning answer.
Yeah.
Because I'm growing now to show myself more love.
Okay.
So that would be.
It's all right.
I want to make sure I understood the question. So it's how does a woman know when she's loved, or what's the question?
How did she know that? How does she know what real love is?
Right.
When you've never experienced it, you may have thought you were in love, but how do you know what real love is?
My thought is that would be very individual, and it is whatever is required to make you feel secure. People talk about love languages. Mm-hmm. For some people, it's, I need to hear certain words of affirmation. For others, like, I need you to make sure my needs are met, my resources are present. So I think it's whatever gives you that security, and whoever is willing to offer that to you, like they're willing to make the sacrifices necessary to ensure that you have those securities.
I totally agree. It is individual. I think I don't think you can teach somebody what love is. I think that you could be raised and brought up in the perfect home, whatever that itself might be. I don't know if it exists where, the story would tell us there's two parents and there's two households and there's a car and there's a garage. That don't mean that you've learned love. You can grow up in foster care and experience love. You can grow up in the streets and learn love. So I think it is, as Dr. Zane was saying, you have to tap into your own self. So how do we teach people to tap in their own self? Is teaching people that it's okay to be truthful to yourself. The whole concept of learning who you are. What does touch look like or feel like for you? What do you see? What do you desire? And I'm one that I love telling particularly young Black women to write out your vision, write out the things you want. If you had all the material stuff you want, what would you still need? And that's where you're going to find love, because love is not in the stuff. It really is in what fulfills the need. In that space, I think is it really is individual. And I would agree at times where sometimes it feels like we are 3 or 4 generations into an absence of teaching or parenting. But I would tell you it's just different. I think another piece, as we're talking about negotiating peace, is not necessarily looking around the room or the neighborhood. What's your street number? And what does peace look like when you walk in your door? Right? Because one thing, if you don't have a door, sister, that's another conversation. But if you have a door, when you walk in that door, that's like the first place where peace must abide. When you walk and close that door, and if that's not in there, that's where you first start unfolding. Is it love? Is it absent? Is it feel? What is it? This has been incredible, ladies. I know we can keep talking. I know we can keep talking.
Let me add to that.
Okay, go ahead.
You know how I was taught this by a man. When I told him I was yelling, I said, "Oh, you just don't make me happy." This man said, "I am not responsible for your happiness." That stuck in my head, and it's still there. Never allow someone to be responsible for our happiness. We have to make ourselves happy. What makes you happy? Do what makes you happy. Leave no one responsible for your happiness. No one.
No one. I love it. Ladies, our peace, it has to be unnegotiable. It is the one thing you get to own that nobody else can have. Nobody can give it to you. And it's free. You got to work for it, but ultimately you'll find that it's free. I want to ask you to help me thank me for thanking these wonderful sisters from Atlanta. Wow, I want you to give yourselves a hand. Please give yourself a hand. We're going to do a couple of raffles offline when we get ready to close out. But before we close, I want you to do me a favor. You're here. This is our affirmation. Say it with me, with power, with love and truth. I am Sheroic.
I am Sheroic.
Say it with me. I am Sheroic.
I am Sheroic.
We get to be black women.
We get to be black women.
Out loud.
Out loud.
Unapologetically.
Unapologetically.
And I'm growing into it.
And I'm growing into it.
Daily.
Daily.
I'll tell you, ladies, it's a process. But it's anything that you do. If you have an affirmation on your mirror, on your bathroom, wherever you have in your heart, put that one. Unapologetically means I'm living in my truth, not yours. Thank you again. I am Dr. Linda Scruggs, and wonderful. Thank you, everyone.